I want to show you something else that I stumbled on. Just once again to show you how dishonest the media are. This is an article from the Financial Times. Let's just look at the title. Russia rules out peace deal to end the Ukraine war. Okay, let me just scroll down a second and read this article to you. Right? So it says that, quote, Moscow sees no possibility of a diplomatic solution to end the war in Ukraine and expects a long conflict, a senior Russian diplomat has warned, as Vladimir Putin's full-scale invasion reaches the 6-month mark this week. Gennady Gatilov, who is Russia's permanent representative to the United Nations in Geneva, that just means that he's an ambassador. Okay, he's the top ambassador. Told the Financial Times that the United Nations should be playing a bigger role in attempts to end the conflict and accused the United States and other NATO countries of pressing Ukraine to walk away from negotiation. There would be no direct talks between Putin and Ukraine's President Zelensky, he said. Okay, so let's just rewind a second, because I'm getting very confused by this. They said that Russia rules out any peace deal in the title, right? That's what they said. Russia rules out peace deal to end Ukraine war. And yet, in the second paragraph, they are saying that this Russian ambassador to the UN in Switzerland is accusing the United States and other NATO countries of pressing Ukraine to walk away from negotiation. Now, hold on a second. If you're not interested in a peace deal, why would you care that Ukrainians are walking away after having been pressed and pressured by the US? And then, in the next line, he says there will be no direct talks between Putin and Ukraine's President Zelensky. Okay. I'm still failing to understand how that fits with this title. It's a lie. The title is a lie, because this Russian diplomat is saying he wants peace talks with Ukrainians. He wants them. But the Ukrainians are walking away because the United States and other NATO countries are pressuring them. And at the same time, he's also saying no direct talks between the two presidents. How on earth does that mean no peace deal? We don't want any peace deal. Those are two completely separate things. Obviously, they want a peace deal. That's why he's criticizing the U.S. for pressuring Ukrainians to walk away. And he just said no direct talks. That's very common. Do you think, just an example, right here, the nuclear talks, do you think Iran's president is the one who comes here and speaks with Joe Biden? Of course not. I mean, they're not at war, well, officially. But you get the idea. He's just saying it's not going to be Zelensky or Putin. That's not the same thing. He said that the United Nations has become marred in politicization because of the war, and that has damaged the authority of the UN and its organizations. As a result, it is unable to act effectively as a mediator. He's criticizing the UN for not being good at mediating. So obviously, that doesn't mean, Russia refuses a peace deal. No, on the contrary, for me, the feeling that I get reading that is that they do want a peace deal, and they're complaining about the UN not being good enough at mediating. Global diplomacy was in the worst state he had experienced in his 50-year career. He said that the world has changed and the UN will never be the same as it was before. What you're not saying it's finally going to actually get something done, are you? No, I'm kidding. But I'm sure other diplomats said that before him, and especially during war. Yeah, but I want to say something, because you guys and I, we looked at these UN votes. Remember, there were multiple resolutions to condemn Russia, to ask Russia to end the invasion and so on. And, what struck me, and I showed this to you, is that a lot of countries that are emerging, let's say the BRICS, for example, right? We had India that didn't do it. China that didn't do it, and only South Africa condemning Russia. That's very huge, right? Brazil and India, because they want to deal with Russia. Doesn't mean they like the war, but they're not going to go and like cancel Russia. And so my point is that although overwhelmingly those countries at the UN did vote to condemn Russia, the ones that didn't have very powerful economies, right? Or vast resources, or both, right? So of course that includes Iran as well, Iraq. They all refused to condemn Russia. And I think I understand what he's saying, that, oh, the UN will never be the same. But I think it's much bigger than that, right? It's I get the feeling it's the same with I don't know, European Western society, the economy. This is all going to go down the drain. A lot of people are going to get hurt, which is very unfortunate. So I want to just show you a couple more lines here. The article says the UN and Turkey have sought to act as intermediaries between Kiev and Moscow and had recent success in brokering the deal on Ukraine's grains export. Gatilov, so this is the ambassador we're talking about, Gatilov said that it was unfortunate that the UN was not playing a larger role. Once again, that means he wants negotiations, he wants peace deal. How does that rule out I don't understand anything, really. They just, in the media, man, they lie so much that it's become normal. It's become normal. There is nothing in this article that says Putin refuses any peace deal with Ukraine. There's nothing like that. If I had written this, man, I would be stressed out if they published it with that article. That is a complete nonsense. Nothing to do with anything that is written below. It's staggering. I was reading this earlier and I was like, man, I gotta tell you guys. I have to tell you guys about this garbage. And again, this is not, a one-off. This is the norm. This is how the media functions. This is what they're doing to you. This is what they're constantly trying to do, condition people and lie to them. They are anything but honest. I mean, really just unbelievable.